What's up, guys? Paulie Malignaggi of Paulie TV. You know, I'm still thinking about that AJ and Dubois fight, Dynamite Performance by Daniel Dubois, but I was just thinking, you know, because I've made a couple of mentions of the walkout that AJ had, and to me, that was the most amazing walkout I've ever seen. I saw an amazing walkout by AJ in the Klitschko fight as well. That would, to that point, had been the most amazing thing. I think as far as me being at the live event, the AJ versus Klitschko, AJ's walkout against Klitschko is the most amazing walkout I've ever seen. What are people's opinions of walkouts? You know, do you like the entertainment walkouts? Do you like the old school where they just walk to the ring like Ali and Frazier did? You know, do you like the music behind it? Do you prefer when guys get rapped into the ring or sung into the ring with a live mariachi band or a live rapper or whatnot? Do you like the showmanship of Naseem Hamed, where there's a lot of theatrics on the way to the ring? You know, there's so many different options. I have loved AJ's walkouts, and they are my favorite out of anybody I've ever seen in boxing in my lifetime, because they center themselves on the fighter, and AJ's star power is so magnified during these walkouts, because you can see the filled out stadium because of him. The amount of popularity this guy had is amazing for me to see, but also the reaction of the crowd. The walkout centers around him. There's theatrics with the fireworks and whatnot, but the walkout centers around him. There's nobody singing, we're taking away the attention. There's nobody rapping, taking away the attention. It's on him. You don't have to watch a band do a mariachi. You're watching him, and the noise around the walkout and the music itself centering around it. I love the walkout this particular time because obviously I'm going to be biased to Godfather stuff. Then I moved into Jay-Z, allowed me to reintroduce myself, and then it went to the War instrumental from Rocky IV, which is one of my all-time faves. I used to love training to that instrumental when I was a teenager. You know, it was just a perfect explosion of things coming together, and the reaction of the crowd, it was centering around him. It magnified his position. He's obviously a big heavyweight, so it was it had a majestic feel. I've said that before. He looked like royalty while walking to the ring. I'm taking out the result in this, and it's just about the walkouts. Obviously, we all go through our time, and we all end up at the end, you know, not able to perform the way we once performed. I can remember the Klitschko walkout as well, very similar. I was there for that one, and again, I had goosebumps just as he was walking to the ring. He had that soldier-like position, you know, and an expression on his face. Again, I mean, for me, AJ's walkouts have been my favorite walkouts, but they are styled in the style of my favorite walkouts. I'm not crazy about. I've done the being brought into the ring by a live performer. I had Mano walk me into the ring rapping when I fought Pablo Cesar Cano. So I've done that kind of stuff. As far as theatrics, you know, maybe a little, not so much like Naseem Hamed. You know, I liked the theatrical attire and the theatrical outfits, but I was never one for too much theatrics on my way to the ring, because I didn't want to lose my focus on the way to the ring. I had a mask on at this Etihad Stadium, a luchador mask on at the Etihad Stadium when I fought Love Morendo in the rematch in the famous hair fight where I had to get a haircut. But the AJ walkout here, when it just goes from Godfather, and he comes out with that long old school robe, you know, which I also am a fan of in my older age. You know, I like that old school feel like Ali with that long robe, and then it goes into Jay-Z, and then that War instrumental just did it for me, man. I don't know, man. I had goosebumps. I've actually rewatched that walkout like 4 or 5 times on YouTube. I was just so amazed by it, and yeah. You can't summon that warfare mentality as you get older. It just gets beaten out of you, unfortunately. And he didn't have it the same way when he was young. You know, but when you hear it on his way to the ring, you're thinking, oh, man, can he summon it one last time? Unfortunately, you know, we're all human, and eventually that kind of psychotic viciousness gets beaten out of us. But when you have that instrumental, to think of that instrumental on your way to a fight of that magnitude, I really, really think, you know, he was trying to summon it once again. But in the moment, it's difficult to do when it's just not there the same way. The killer mentality just not there the same way it was. But as far as the walkout, the reaction of the crowd, the fireworks coming up, the AJ on fire, then all of a sudden the Rocky instrumental from War comes on and he starts to walk his way to the ring at that point. And you just have that soldier-like face, you know, and the crowd is just absolutely going bananas, 96,000 people. I don't know, man. I know people are gonna have different opinions, but I think AJ has been the biggest superstar I've seen in boxing in my life. Aside from maybe Mike Tyson when I was young. But even Mike Tyson, we didn't have these kind of stadium fights. And maybe American fans are not going to agree because they haven't seen the magnitude of AJ. But for me, these kind of walkouts are sort of the sort of thing that I think AJ can look back on in his life when he's older and say, like, wow, I did that. I created that kind of mega attraction, and it was just so cool to see, man. It was really, really something. I think for me, even though I wasn't there live in this last one with Dubois, the combination of music that he used with the show, that he also had the show with the Klitschko fight with the explosions and everything, but the combination of music, even if he didn't get the result, I think this was my favorite walkout I've ever seen. But of course, because it was to my personal style that I like. Some people they like the live performer, bringing you to the ring. I think it takes away attention from the fighter. I think all the attention should be on the fighter. So when you have somebody rapping you in the ring, or you have a band singing you in the ring, I think it actually takes away the attention from you. I think, a lot of the eyes are going to be on the performer, and you're just kind of following them like a dunce. I'm not really so crazy about that, I'd rather the eyes all focus on the fighter. And so that's why it's my favorite. As far as the theatrics are concerned, some people like that. I think it's, to a degree, it's fun. Hamed has some crazy stuff. The Halloween walkout with Wayne McCullough, where there's a makeshift cemetery made, or the Kevin Kelly fight where he's behind a stage shadow boxing for 10 minutes behind a silhouette shadow, or the magic carpet against Barrera. Some people like that stuff. I'm not saying I'm against it, but it's not my ideal favorite kind of walkout. I love the entire eyes of the entire arena focusing on the warrior and not the theatrics, not the performer that he's got with him, on the warrior and his focus and his concentration with this whole surrounding aura around him, where he's just able to create this dynamite aura, and yet he's still focused on being the warrior, and everybody is just amazed